What's up, everyone? So, today I was driving home from work, and I had this kind of weird situation where I was trying to envision, like, my car in Rocket League doing something, and I was like, if my car is oriented this way, like, what do I do with the analog stick? I guess even more so, I was thinking of, like, what do I do when I play Rocket League? Like, what would I break down as, like, a formula? How do I do it? You know what I mean? And I got kind of frustrated by the end of it because I was like, I finally realized I had this like breakthrough while I was trying to deal with it, and it was like kind of getting a little irritated that I couldn't just like in my head come up with the way I would move the analog sticks or what buttons I would press to like do something, and that I just kind of do it. You know what I mean? Like I could break down how to wave dash or something like that, but you know, as far as just the game goes, or even the positioning around the field, it's like in the moment you can explain it, but before going into it beforehand, it's very tough to figure out why you would do what. In fact, that's what I had to do to get to this point, and that was like the breakthrough that I had. Was I already did that. I already broke down in my head what I had to do, and then I learned how to just do it. And I need to stop questioning myself, and I need to realize that it's ridiculous to feel like I've lost the ability to do something because it takes me 30 seconds to like spell it out. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't understand that at all. And because of that, I wanted to make a video where I did this training that I do every day, and I showed a clip of me doing the same training. I think it was like 3 months ago, maybe 2 months ago, and it's crazy how much it's changed. The footage I just showed is at 2 times speed from my warm-up session this morning. However, this is from a couple months ago. I'm pretty sure I could even look at the replay. I'd have to find it again. Anyways, I was trying to show my friends this training and explain to them why I do it. They're like my real life friends. They're not all of them are too into Rocket League, but a decent amount of them are, just not enough to train, which training is really important. But I started off by just showing them like kind of how to float and trying to show, you know, why I started to just kind of like turn my car in like a bunch of different angles and try to, you know, correct it right away, and explain that the reason I do this is so that my car is just as fluid in the air as it is on the ground. Like when I'm in the air, I can think of my car as a jet and use it as a jet just as effectively as I can think of my car on the ground as a car. So if there was an obstacle course or a race course or something, I could fly through the air and do it. I do remember back when I used to do this, when I first started doing this, I just ran in one very large circle, and then I would switch about halfway through and go through the other circle. If you notice from the footage before, you would hear the initiation of my boost like a lot less often, especially when I'm coming through this part right here. Like, listen to that. You hear how much it snapped? It was like, I'm constantly letting go of the boost. Where, now, I pretty much never have to let go of the boost. And I'm almost always making the perfect angle. Not perfect. That's a long way to go still. But, I'm turning a lot more efficiently. One of the other things I noticed in this gameplay, I felt like, was when I'm turning in this, I am pretty much always turning straight left, straight right, tilting straight forward or straight backwards. And now I use the corners of the analog stick as well in a much more efficient way. Yeah, see how often I'm like zat, 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 where before it was like zzz. I actually even did a video of this. I don't have any like raw footage of it to like edit and put together. But I did a video of this maybe like a month or two ago. No, it's got to be longer than that. Anyways, it was one of my earlier videos, and I remember like watching it back and being like, man, all I hear is the like initiation sound over and over and over and over again. That's what it is the whole time. Oh yeah, also, so if you see, I just fell at 2.5 minutes, which, I mean, it's probably later than that because I showed my friends stuff and whatnot beforehand. But the clip I just showed you before editing was like 4 minutes and 30 seconds, which is a pretty impressive jump. Granted, I did work on that for a while. Like, I knew I was gonna do this video, and so I wanted to make sure I had like a good clip of me doing this. But this thing is really twofold. So I've already explained to you guys that I do this because it makes me feel like at home in the air. It makes me feel like I can turn my car like much more efficiently, and I know which, no matter how my car is oriented, I know which way to move the analog stick. But the other thing it does for me every day when I'm actually doing it is meditate. Like, I normally pretty much listen to music and I try to clear my head as much as possible and just exist in the car, I guess. I don't know how else to put it. Like, one of the biggest things when I do that is like, I don't know, I explained it in my last video. Is kind of tough thing. It's kind of tough to explain, but it's like a love for yourself. Like, you know, if you've ever become obsessed with something or someone, which I didn't, anyways, you start to like think about them a lot, and it feels like you're expanding energy, like you're pushing energy out of your brain almost to somewhere else, and it feels kind of awful. It almost feels like you're losing energy. If you can instead focus that right straight down into the middle of your chest, into your heart, and really like let that burn. It's like confidence. It's bravery. It's I don't like. It's just the ability to know you're right and you're doing something, and to not like question what's happening, and to be instinctual. If you can do that and put yourself into that frame of mind for as long as possible, before you start training, while you're training anything, I normally, this is the simplest thing to do it in, so I do it here. But I try to do that in a lot of my other trainings too, because I find it very important. It's focus. That's what it is. It's focus. But I don't know, there's something extra. Like, focus feels like from your eyes and your brain, and like, you know, there's something like you're driving your like energy, your compassion, your feeling down to yourself. I don't know. It's very hard to describe, but I feel like if you kind of tried, it would maybe make sense. And if it doesn't, then I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a hippy dippy woo woo loser. But I feel it, and it makes me feel like I can. I mean, even in like real life, interact with people more confidently, and just do things better. I guess maybe it's just like forcing myself to be at peace, making sure that my heart rate is nice and calm and stuff. I don't know. Oh yeah, so here I was trying to work on my stalls while falling from the ceiling, because my friends were just fucking around at this point. Nobody cared. So I was over it, which sucks. But not everyone's into the stuff you're into as much as you're into it. So that happens, you know. And that's okay. But if you want to get better at Rocket League, which like at least 2 of these people did, you should put effort into trying to be able to do this. Like, if you're like a gold or platinum, this might be really hard, but I can promise it'll be worth it. Like, your aerial control will highly improve. I hope everyone had a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of their weekend.
I don't wanna be the one, I just wanna be the now.